Let's dive into this, because really, this is the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? The sheer range of possibilities for XRP over the next couple of years is just staggering. We're talking about a digital asset with a fiercely loyal community, actual real-world utility, and, frankly, a history of massive price suppression. By blending predictive language models with hardcore quantitative trading bots, we're going to cut right through the hype and look at the mathematical realities for December 2026. Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with the AI forecasting revolution, look at XRP's current crossroads, break down those 3 distinct AI price predictions, cover the real-world factors driving those targets, and wrap up with a smart investor mindset. All right, Section 1, the AI forecasting revolution, seeing what humans miss. Look, AI models matter because they do what our brains just literally cannot. They're analyzing massive data sets in milliseconds, tracking historical price action down to the microsecond, processing wild global macro signals, and evaluating investor sentiment all at the exact same time. It's like a giant puzzle, and sometimes these algorithms spot patterns we completely overlook. When you have multiple AI systems processing the exact same data but pointing in totally different directions, well, that signals massive uncertainty. But hey, in financial markets, high uncertainty usually means massive opportunity.
Moving right along to Section 2, XRP at a crossroads, the current landscape.
So, looking at where XRP is right now, it's definitely at a critical crossroads. We're seeing growing global interest from institutions, for sure. We've got the endless ongoing discussions around regulation, which, let's face it, has been a dark cloud for years. But on the flip side, we're seeing increasing undeniable use cases in cross-border payments. It's solving actual liquidity problems today. And yet, despite all those strong fundamentals, the market volatility is still sky high. Some folks are incredibly bullish, while others are just sitting on the sidelines, waiting. It is a really pivotal moment.
Okay, Section 3, 3 AI price predictions, deciphering the data. This is where it gets really fun.
Now, what's really interesting about this first model is just how optimistic it is. It's the absolute most bullish of the 3. Leaning heavily into historical fractal analysis, this AI calculates XRP could hit somewhere between $8 and $12 by December 2026. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. $8 to $12. So how exactly did the AI get there? It didn't just pull those numbers out of thin air. The catalysts here are all about historical breakout cycles, basically looking at how XRP has just absolutely exploded in the past. It's also factoring in growing global adoption trends. But the biggest key? Long-term consolidation patterns. According to this specific model, XRP is basically sitting in this massive, quiet accumulation phase. The math assumes it's like a tightly coiled spring, just getting ready for a massive, explosive upward move. Actually, let me pause right here and ask you directly. Based on your own read of the market right now, do you honestly think XRP can hit $10? Go ahead and mentally lock in your answer, yes or no, before we look at the bearish data. Grounding your own expectations kind of helps frame what the AI is telling us. All right, shifting gears to the second AI model. This one takes a much more moderate, middle-of-the-road approach, targeting $3 to $5 by December 2026.
This is a really balanced take. The AI is looking at a few dampening factors here. It sees the fierce competition from other cryptos trying to solve those exact same cross-border payment issues. It's factoring in that legacy banks might adopt this stuff a bit slower than we'd like. And it's pricing in potential delays in the broader crypto market's growth. Essentially, this algorithm expects steady, solid progress for XRP, but it totally rules out a sudden face-melting rally.
And finally, we drop the anchor on our third AI model. This is the most cautious, conservative outlook of the bunch, putting XRP somewhere between $1 and $2 by the end of 2026. Now, we have to treat this prediction with the exact same level of analytical seriousness as that $10 model. Why so low? Well, this cautious model heavily weighs historical market resistance levels. Basically, the price ceilings XRP has continually struggled to punch through. It expects the overall crypto hype cycles to cool down and sees limited short-term catalysts to really drive volume. Simply put, this AI thinks XRP is going to grind upwards incredibly slowly, and it says no way to a major breakout. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive gap we're looking at. On one side, you've got an explosive $10+ rally fueled by historical breakouts. On the other side, a grueling, slow $1 to $2 grind held back by market resistance. They are looking at the exact same asset, but weighing the variables entirely differently. Let's quickly summarize this matrix. The bullish model shoots for $8 to $12 on breakout cycles. The moderate model sees $3 to $5 on steady progress, and the cautious model anchors at $1 to $2 because of heavy resistance levels. So the giant rhetorical question is, with such a massive divergence in the math, which AI model is actually right?
That brings us to Section 4, Key Factors Driving Price, the variables that matter.
These are the real-world triggers that are going to force XRP down one of those three paths. Number one, institutional adoption. If the big financial players actually start using XRP for daily liquidity, demand goes through the roof. Number two is regulatory clarity, which brings the confidence needed for massive volume. Third, we can't ignore broader market cycles. Crypto moves in massive waves, and timing those waves is everything. And lastly, Bitcoin's direction. Like it or not, the whole market still pretty much follows Bitcoin's macro trend. If adoption skyrockets and a bull cycle hits, that $8 to $12 range is totally in play. But if things stall out, we're definitely leaning toward that conservative $1 to $2 path. And finally, Section 5, the smart investor mindset, navigating the noise. Let's step back from the price hype for a second. So, the crucial point is this. Moments like right now, before the big shifts happen, are where your early decisions matter the most. Being disciplined means staying continuously informed on the actual data, aggressively managing your personal risk, and, this is huge, avoiding emotional trades based on daily market swings. Look, whether XRP goes to $2 or $10, positioning yourself ahead of the crowd requires an actual strategy. You can't just run on hope. I really want you to remember this quote from our sources today. Hype doesn't build wealth. Discipline does. In the cryptocurrency market, timing isn't just a big deal. It is literally the only deal. Sticking to the fundamentals, actually understanding the AI data, and maintaining your discipline is exactly how the smart money survives and thrives.
So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Which of those three AI paths do you honestly think is most likely to play out by December 2026? The bullish $10, the moderate $4, or the cautious $1.50? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me today. Keep learning, stay disciplined, and I'll see you in the next explainer.